What's up, guys? So you're thinking about maybe possibly buying a house, but you're not quite sure if you should. It's the end of 2022, going into 2023. That's something I wanted to talk about because that's a question that I get quite often. Hey, is it a good time to buy? What's your opinion? What do you think? And I'm sure a lot of us realtors get that question. And a lot of you guys actually want to know, is it a good time or not a good time? So you know what? Grab a cup of coffee, pull up a chair, and let's go ahead and talk about that. So we're thinking about buying a house and you're not quite sure if it's the right time or if it's the right thing to do for yourself. So that's exactly what it comes down to for yourself. Are you ready to make that commitment? We have to turn off all the noise and all the news that we hear and everybody telling us that it's a bad time, you should wait, you shouldn't wait. So me personally, as a realtor, I personally like to say it's the right time to buy a house, or anything for that matter in life, if you're ready as an individual, because there's so many different factors that go into this and only you can answer those questions. And going into 2023, we're going in with high interest rates, we're going in with low inventory, we're going in with high inflation, and now you're seeing layoffs at big companies. So those are the four major factors that I see holding people back, so high interest rates, that's a big one. I know that's the biggest topic right now. It's interest rates are too high, I can't buy a house. Maybe you've lost some buying power. Maybe you can't afford the mortgage payment, and those are good. And I think if you feel you can't do either one of those things, then you probably shouldn't buy a house, because buying a house is a big responsibility. And if you buy something that you can't afford, what happens? It's gonna go, your dream becomes a nightmare, right? So with high interest rates though, like if you can afford those interest rates, those payments, I would say yes, just for the fact that one, you could always refinance at a high interest rate. And can't tell you when or how, but it will happen where interest rates will probably come back down. Like I said, I can't tell you when because I don't have a crystal ball and there's nobody on this earth that can. So I would say, if you can afford a mortgage payment, I wouldn't even worry about the interest rate right now. I would still try to get the best interest rate, but I really wouldn't worry about it so much, just for the fact that the house that you're looking at today, you're probably not going to be able to find it at a lower price later on in life, right? So what happens with housing, it goes up, it appreciates, and a lot of times it doesn't come down unless there's a correction, which we're kind of in right now. So I have seen where we've had to adjust pricing for homes about 3 to 5%. And again, it just depends on what part of the area, the country you're living in, what city you're in. So I personally don't think there's going to be this market crash like some people think there's going to be. So, but hey, if you're on the sidelines trying to time the market, good luck. Best of luck to you. And I hope it works out. But like I said, nobody knows, right? So that leads me into your job security. Where are you at with your job? You need to sit back and take a look at your job, the length of time you've been there, what type of industry you're in. Is it secure enough to where if you do decide to make a purchase of this magnitude and with this type of payment, where are you at? Do you feel comfortable enough to take on a responsibility of this magnitude? So that's something you want to sit back and kind of think about. With that in mind too, just kind of consider like where you at. Are you going to grow in this company? Maybe you're starting a new business. Maybe you're doing two things at one time. Those are all the things. Where is your income coming from, and how sustainable is that for you, right? So consider that. And that's going to lead me into savings rate. One thing that you do want to have is a good amount of savings. I would recommend 3 to 6 months. That's generally what's recommended by all professionals. Just for the fact that you buy a house, things are bound to happen. And what we like to call Murphy's Law. I would say, a lot of times you buy something like a house and maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, something happens. And if you're not prepared with an emergency fund, then the dream of owning a home becomes a nightmare, and you don't want a nightmare. Nightmares suck. So and that nightmare just seeps into your regular life, and you don't want to do that. Like, especially if you're able to prevent something from happening like that. As far as, like, you can't prevent an emergency happening, but you can be prepared for an emergency. So you do have control. So like I said, you can control the controllables, and that's something you can control. So taking a look at your savings rate, where you're at, those are the things that you want to look at, okay? And the third thing would be like credit scores. Running your credit score. I'm going to have a link down below in the description where you can go check out your credit score, start getting ready, seeing what kind of debt you have, start paying off some debt, just kind of getting ready. And this is going to help you when you go talk to a lender, and you can start getting pre-approved, because the better your credit score, the lower of an interest rate they're going to be able to help you find. So those are some of the things that I personally think that will help you determine if you're ready to buy a house or not. So if you guys have any questions, would love to reach out to me, or just want to just talk, I would love to. If you guys want to get together, maybe have a cup of coffee, I'd love to do that too. You can reach me on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel here. You can call me, there's all kinds of ways you can get a hold of me. So anyhow, you guys have a great day, and next week, stay tuned. I'm gonna do should I buy or rent, and go from there. All right, you guys have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.